So this is part 2. I'm going to show you my babies. I'm going to show you, so here, our Lucky Charm shirt still. Our Lucky Charm shirt still. I'm going to show you our gold coins. We have some on the table. I found some on the floor. You see that? Found some on the couch. When I worked as a psychology instructor at Salish Kootenai College, SKC, Belina had a preschool teacher when she was 2 at the Early Learning Center there on property at the college. Excuse me. And her second grade teacher, when we ended up coming back to California, they sent us some gifts. I used to have a mama bear mug that one of my students, Cindy, gave me, and that disappeared. I mean, things of mine have disappeared over the years, burglaries, all kinds of things. Just moving too much, but we're here and we're going to plan to stay here because this is where I've grown up since I was 4 years old, and I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight against all this fraud that is being committed against me. This nice, beautiful quilt here was gifted to me by Luann Kicking Woman. She was Belina's second grade teacher, not second grade teacher, sorry, toddler teacher. So she was 2. So she was the daycare teacher of the 2-year-old class. So her name is Luann Kicking Woman, and she sent us that and made that. I had another student make me, a beaded necklace. Another student made me these beautiful beads. And unfortunately, I have had like burglaries and theft, and things have gone missing. So there's just things that I don't have that I used to, and I can't account for what happened to them. But what I do know is that I still have this one from working at SKC. And so over here, Evangeline and Belina, we still have some more chocolate coins. Let me look around here. We found some chocolate coins there. And some chocolate coins here. Isn't that cool? Let me pour myself a cup of coffee. I just made it. So what I did last night is I ended up watching The Hobbit 1 and 2. After filing a complaint with the Board of Behavioral Sciences against Maria Leonora Hayes for falsifying reports. So I'm going to sit down. I'm going to sit down. Still running? Oh, it's still running. So I'm going to sit down, and Evangeline and Belina, I miss you. I have your Lucky Charm shirt that we wore to when we started doing Mama and Her Baby Foodies. And I bought these at Walmart for $7 each. And we still have them. We've worn them. I bought them in 2021, actually. I bought these in 2021, and they were a little bit big because they didn't, I don't know if they had children's sizes. So I think I had to get Belina like an extra small. So it gave them time. It gave them time to just grow into it. So Belina and Evangeline, I'm sorry that evil people who lie broke our traditions, and you should have been home with mommy by now. And I really hope that they get arrested and that they are held responsible at the full extent of the law. But for now, I'm going to be making these videos because, I do everything for you and sister, and this is our family tradition. And I'm going to save you your chocolate coins, and I'm going to put them in a bag and bring them to you on Tuesday. Okay. So this book, I really love this book. This is a beautiful book. It's called The Leprechaun's Big Pot of Gold by Patricia Reeder Ewbank. Once upon a time, a leprechaun lived in a cottage deep in the woods of Ireland. During the day, he made tiny shoes for fairies. At night, he fiddled sad songs in front of his fire. This was my grandmother's cup. She passed away, and like I always say, she was like my mother, and I feel like her spirit's always with me. But I love drinking out of this cup because it was my grandmother's. You see, the leprechaun had forgotten where he buried his pot of gold. This made him very grumpy. Every day after work, he followed rainbows and dug for his gold. So he's looking for his gold. He's trying to figure out where he placed it. At the end of one rainbow, he found the great big sleeping puppy. The puppy followed the grumpy leprechaun home. Go away, he said. But the puppy stayed. So the leprechaun shared his potato soup with the puppy, and the puppy fell asleep to his sad songs. The puppy's fur shone like gold, so the leprechaun named him Goldie. Goldie helped the leprechaun dig holes to look for his gold. Goldie loved to dig. One day, Goldie brought home a sweet yellow kitten in a basket. The kitten had one green eye, one blue eye, a pink nose, and white paws. The leprechaun named her Rainbow. She curled up on his bed and slept on his feet to keep them warm. Each day, they all chased rainbows and dug for Leprechaun's pot of gold. So he's on a mission to find his gold. And now he has a helper, his dog and his cat. Helpers, I should say, two helpers. And every night the leprechaun fiddled a little faster and a little merrier. The leprechaun was no longer sad and lonely. One day he said, Goldie, you and Rainbow have made me so happy, I don't need that pot of gold anymore. So he wanted pot of gold. He wanted gold to make him happy. But along the way, he found Goldie and Rainbow, and he found friendship and love in them. And he realized that it was more important to have friends and loving people by your side than any gold in the world. Now, these are chocolate coins, right? These are good and fun to eat. But that's a really important lesson. The next day, Goldie lumbered home carrying a muddy bucket filled with gold coins. Goldie found it. The happy leprechaun laughed and said, let's go dig some big holes and bury this gold for others to find. So gold wasn't important to him because it's not about how much money you have. It's about who you have in your life. And that's really important. It's no matter how much money or how little money I've had, I've always saved money. I've always saved my money to make sure that my girls have nice holidays, to make sure that my daughters, I call my daughters my girls because I have two girls, to make sure that my daughters, have food on the table and have a warm jacket and have what they need. And so I don't have a lot, and that's the truth. Like I, as a person, don't have a lot, but material goods have never been valuable to me. To me, having a good friend who doesn't betray you, who's there for you, is worth more than gold. To me, having my daughters with me by my side and healthy is worth more than gold. This is exactly why I said if this is about child support, he can keep his child support. I don't need your child support. Keep it. Give me my kids back because this is ridiculous and this is harmful to their development. Because Goldie, you and Rainbow are the only gold I could ever want. Evangeline and Belina, you're the only gold I could ever want. Meaning, there is nothing that could ever replace you. There is nothing that would make mommy stop loving you. Okay, remember, mommy didn't give you away. They took you. And they took you in an illegal way, and mommy's proving it. And I'm going to go make sure they go to jail so that we can finally be at peace. Okay, my beautiful babies, I hope that you have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. I wish you were here with me I know that we have our traditions to uphold, and um, you know, unfortunately, a fraud who needs to be in jail um, lied, and they believed her instead of talking to me. And people still aren't talking to me. People are still leaving me out of the loop when I am their mother and I have custody. So I don't understand how that works. But I'm still going to go to court in Orange County as well and let the judge know what the Porlancos are doing to me and to my children and why it's unlawful. So I just wanted to sing a song for Evangeline and Belina that they love about rainbows. Okay. We learned this song, I think, on Mother Goose Club. It's a show that they used to watch when they were younger, about pre-K age. And it was on Netflix. And you can watch it on YouTube too. It's called the Mother Goose Club. And this is how we learned the song. Rainbow, rainbow, high and bright. Rainbow, rainbow, made of light. Going up and coming down. I see colors all around. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet too. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet too. The rainbow, the rainbow, the rainbow. Now remember, rainbows were originally in a Bible as a sign of God's promise not to harm. And this is why I've always loved rainbows. And I think this is why kids love rainbows. I mean, if you think of it, there's like Rainbow High and Rainbow Raiders. And when I was a kid, we had Rainbow Bright. And to me, a rainbow has always been a sign of hope. It's always been a sign of new beginnings, right? A rainbow after the rain. It's always been limitless. And what I've always liked about rainbows is that it was God's promise not to harm. And I think that's really important. I think that's why you see children's books and children's shirts and children's, My Little Pony with rainbows and this and that. You see all of these rainbows, and it's part of a children's life because it's supposed to represent something beautiful. Okay, and so, and then you think of Lucky Charms. Like, who doesn't love those marshmallows in the cereal, right? Usually I will bake something, that's green, that's St. Patrick's Day inspired, but because my daughters aren't with me and I still have some leftover gingerbread cookies, I'm not going to be wasteful and just bake for myself. So I haven't really been cooking. I cook for my daughters. That's who I cook for, and I bake for my daughters and I make it festive for them. So I'm not eating as much because my daughters aren't here to enjoy it with me. But I do miss you and love you, Evangeline and Belina. I really hope that they understand why this is fraud when we go to court, that the judge does, and that the lawyer understands it. And I really hope that they're watching my PowerPoint presentation in defense with evidence, because it doesn't seem like anyone's taking the time to investigate this. And the fact that they're saying this is a preliminary court hearing, they might be placed with you, they might not, but advocate for you to continue homeschooling them. It's like nobody's hearing me. Nobody's listening to the facts, and they're just listening to false allegations and fabricated reports. So it's really important that I get another lawyer too. I was appointed a county lawyer at the courthouse, but I'm going to get my own lawyer to sue DCFS and to sue Tomas Polanco's sister for false allegations against me. So thank you for taking the time to listen. If you know my kids' whereabouts, please keep an eye on them so that they're safe. But I do not feel that they're safe at all in his care. Um, and I'm always, uneasy about how my kids are being taken care of, since I've been the only responsible primary caregiver that they've had their own lives. And I know all their medical needs, their dietary needs, what they're allergic to, what signs to look for if my daughter is having, cardiovascular problems, just any of that. And DCFS didn't even bother to ask. Like I said, policemen and a social worker did not remove him here. They went on a visit with their dad and never came back. And to me, that is kidnap, since I hold physical custody and he only held the visitation rights. So I know he's going to be held in contempt in Orange County, despite what Edelman's courthouse says, because of how things transpired. It's how it happened. And that it was false and it was unnecessary to remove them from my care, and that is causing them trauma. So please pray for my children, and pray that I get a good lawyer who is going to actually be competent and understand everything that I'm saying, because I'm explaining the case to people and it sounds like I'm speaking a foreign language, like they don't understand. Either they're not, I'm starting to think that the people I've been dealing with aren't mentally competent. They're saying I'm not mentally competent, but I'm starting to think that I'm too advanced in my speech and that they're not mentally competent to understand what's transpiring here, what's happening. So if you don't understand my vocabulary, like transpire, please Google it. Okay, I'm not trying to patronize you or make you feel unintelligent, non-intelligent, but the fact that I've turned in 100 pages of evidence and people are still looking at me like they didn't break the law by letting Maria Leonora Hades be a part of the case is really baffling to me right now. I think they know they messed up and they're going to be in really big trouble. So they're just letting it kind of run its course because they messed up. And I'm not letting it go. I'm pressing charges and I'm going to get a really good lawyer, because this isn't only about my children now, it's about other children. If you're removing children unlawfully the way you took mine, then I have a duty to protect other kids as well, not just mine. But I do not feel that my kids are safe whatsoever with the Polancos because of their history and that's something that the lawyer needs to talk to me about and call me. So please pray for my children's safety. Evangelina Belina, I love you. I have your leprechaun shirts, okay? I'll bring them on well, I can't bring them on Tuesday because we have to be in court, but hopefully by Tuesday you can come back home and we can kind of have our celebration a little bit late, all right? I love you. You guys are my number one gold. You are more valuable than gold, my babies, and I love you and I hope you're safe.